Okay, we're here. Back to Claire. Or Suzanne.
So yeah, land planning, that's all I had to present. I don't know if there's any questions for Claire or myself on this budget. Any other questions?
No. Okay. So we move on to regional growth strategy budget. Let's do that. The question was asked, why isn't this included in the general land planning? And it's because area A is not included.
Right.
They don't pay into it. We should encourage area A to join the regional growth strategy.
So moved. Second. Sal seconds it apparently.
Okay, I didn't see his hand.
Good job.
Put his staff.
Good luck.
Okay, maybe. We did do a review of what it would cost tax wise for area A to be added, and you would get like a $400 tax. It would be very minimal, but it's up to area A for to join the RGS or not. The current RGS budget includes a couple of projects, and one of them is using an LG CAP grant, which is 80% for climate action project. And this is for climate action prioritization and implementation strategy. And the second one is for RGS monitoring website and a dashboard reporting option. And I'll turn over to Claire for any questions on those two projects.
I wish we were doing more. There we are.
Jenna, go ahead.
Thank you through the chair. Just wanted to ground truth the RGS monitoring website dashboard and the estimate there. I think that this is a great piece of work, going back to our discussion yesterday and making these indicators a little bit more accessible. It feels a little bit low in cost, so I just want to make sure we have enough there to actually get it over the line.
Thank you. So through the chair, that is a rough number. We did reach out to Fraser Valley Regional District to learn about their dashboard process and system that is up. And there is a wide variety of what that can look like. So this was where we landed with what felt like would be appropriate for our regional district. And that noting that this project will also require staff capacity. And so I think it's a bit to be determined whether this will be the year that we're able to work on this project.
Okay. Any other questions? Being none, shall we move along?
Are we approving any of these as we're going?
Again,
We have been.
We could, right?
Sorry, can I?
Have we been?
We did the first
We
one.
did approve the regional invasive species management and control budget.
In the resolution.
Yeah.
You have a question, Jenna?
Yeah, can Director LaFrance just walk me through? So as I look at the spreadsheet on page 38, the expenses are similar between 2025 and 2026. But there's a 91% increase in the revenue. What is, am I just reading the spreadsheet wrong?
Are you looking
No,
at
no, it's just the increase.
91% through me? Where do you see that? Or-
That's on page 37, the estimated residential tax rate. The 91% change.
RGS tax increase is 130%. actually. It's only $12,964. Are you looking at the planning budget?
The summary table cost center 1201 regional growth strategy. It shows 2025, 2026 and a percentage change of 91%. That's the page you're looking at, right?
Oh, okay, sorry. Yes, I think that is an error. I think it's actually 130%.
But then as we go into the detailed draft budget on page 38, the 2025 prior year budget is 39,800. And the 2026 draft budget is 39,277. So it's actually a lower revenue, lower expense, but a 91% increase.
I don't
I
know
don't see where you're
any of those numbers.
So exhibit 1201 of the regional growth strategy
How much page?
on page 38 of our package. The first column, 2025 prior year budget, total revenue, 39,800. And then the final column, 2026 draft budget is 39,277. My reading is backwards?
No, I'm reading right, but I think this is,
Oh, is it,
I think maybe that's the comparison.
oh, the comparison of the actual budget, not the
Maybe.
budget is?
Yeah, I don't understand your question, I'm sorry. So, basically, the revenues are pretty set, but we're pulling some. So 2025 budget had a revenue of 22,207 transfer from surplus. We only pulled 4,000 of that. And now in the 2026 budget, I'm only asking for 5,000 surplus. So the increase will be in requisition. We could increase the transfer from surplus.
So that's
We
the
want-
difference. So the
yeah.
total revenue is the same basically from 2025 to 2026.
Yeah.
The difference is how much we're choosing.
To tax versus pull from the reserve.
But the 94% change over 2025 forecast, not over 2025 budget.
Correct.
Got it.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused.
Okay.
Do we make a decision on pulling from the reserve at this point?
You can, so you can suggest.
I mean, is that controversial at all?
So,
So let's do that then. Make that motion?
sure, so
Sorry, what's the motion?
That as suggested by Director LaFrance, we take, is it 100,000 from the reserve?
She's taking 5,000.
5,000.
So we could increase that to up to 12,000. That's what the increase to the requisition is. So from 5,000 to 17,000 or less. Depending on if you want a flat requisition to last year, or if you want a small increase. I always suggest a small increase,
Yeah.
but
can we put that into language that we can vote on?
did you want to leave a 3% increase and then take the remainder from the surplus?
Okay. Yes, that is the motion as put forward by Vivian and seconded by
Seamlessly.
Jack. Any discussion or comments or questions on this motion? Okay. I'll call the question. All in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next budget is regional solid waste management planning. And I believe Mary Lou might be in the waiting room into this conversation.
Homer here. Sal, do you have questions?
Yes. I'd like to know what the total cost of the developing the solid waste regional management plan is. Because we looking at it, at the budget, looks like we're going to start a reserve. And I'm not sure if there's a reserve prior to that 2025 budget. So yeah, if we knew the total cost, staff time and consulting time, whatever it all is, then we could calculate it out and over the 5 years, put it into that reserve.
To the chair, Omar Butt, Director of Environmental Services. And then we do have Mary Lou online as well, but we had $150,000 over 3 years in the budget for the consultant plan. And then we've estimated $70,000 in staff time for this year. So that's why this was a request from our solid waste team to add a separate reserve for the solid waste management plan, knowing that we have to do it in 10 years, every 10 years, so that we don't have to try and search for the funds specific for that plan.
Okay, thank you. So the total cost is how much?
It was 100, we had allocated $150,000 for the plan over 3 years. That did not include staff time.
Okay, so with staff time, it's 220,000.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think it would be good for the public to know that. So in any communications, I think we need to share that information. Because I've had people ask me about what's it all about, et cetera, how much it costing, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you.
So I've added,
That's the chair. And I have a question.
I've added a table of the funding requests for solid waste management, similar to what I did for general government. We already spoke to the solid waste management plan, so in 2026, that's 65,000 expense, and for the consultant and 70,000 staff time. There will be a lot of finance work into this. I'm not sure if any other departments are needed to put into this.
Communications, definitely, yeah.
So these are estimates for staff time at this time, which depends on who's pulled into the project.
And sorry, can I just clarify? So that's 65,000 in addition to the 150 that we had previously budgeted, or is that inclusive of?
Yeah, it includes that. It's included in that. We started late this year, so we're not spending the 50,000 we allocated to this year.
That's carried forward.
And then, so we're doing the plan right now. We expect to have it done in 2026. 2020.
2028, 2029.
And then we don't do it again for another 10 years. Is that correct? So I guess my question is, why would we be, I'm a huge fan of reserves, but why would we be putting $30,000 into reserve right now when we're spending $150,000 plus to do the plan? And then we're still gonna have a 10-year leeway to collect reserves to do the plan once the new plan is done. I'm unclear why we would start collecting now.
It is like a double dip at this point because we are still paying for it, so I could start the reserve later and
Like, we will know that we'll have to establish a reserve, but we'll have 10 years to do that once the plan has been adopted. And so I actually may suggest that come back as a recommendation when the plan gets adopted, that the board at the time consider allocating X amount based on the final cost of the plan, so that we're prepared for the next one.
I guess it's just
Yeah, go ahead.
weird question, and I assume the answer is probably no, but I could also see us not reserving for it, and then somebody, well, maybe, actually, this is not giving you enough credit. So, but I could imagine that's like 2020, 2035 being like, oh, we got a reserve, but you'll do that. We can't put like a future reserve contribution in 2033, like to have them start. You can't commit to
It's a 5-year financial plan, so we could
put it at the very.
earmark it and then it'd just be up there
Yeah, I like that.
discretion.
There's other projects in this budget, so the diversion campaign continuing, illegal dumping is continuing. The wild safety attractants education is continuing. And they requested, UES requested $20,000 for a multi-family strategy and action plan. That was previously in, I think, 2024's budget, and then it was pushed to 2026, so it's coming for your review in the 2026 budget, and there's also the transfer to reserve, which we already discussed. Which I agree, we can remove that in this year's budget and then wait till the plan's done and then look at reviewing what that amount should be.
Just asking diversion campaign, that's nothing to do with diversion of organic, except landfill. That's just the good work we're already doing, trying to get less. And I see that we're making progress from the beautiful report we got yesterday. So we're gonna just take that transfer to reserve out at this point, the 30,000. Is that right? And I just have to ask what the multifamily strategy is on this. That just doesn't seem to be a good fit here in solid waste.
I'm gonna let Mary Lou speak to that.
Apartment buildings.
Hi, everyone, through the chair. So the multifamily strategy and action plan is really to revisit what we have within the SLRD in terms of multifamily buildings, in terms of what they're doing with waste room and waste diversion, and what type of streams do they offer. And that will feed the solid waste management plan update. We already know that it's a high contributor to waste going to landfill. But at this moment, District of Squamish and Resort Municipality of Worcester, they have a great knowledge of their multifamily, but the SRD doesn't. So hiring a consultant to do the work, feeding the solid waste management plan update, and just having a better understanding of how can we support the multifamily to do higher diversion.
Thank you.
And that requires a consultant, that's.
Staff at the moment, staff doesn't have the capacity to take on that. We tried, and that's why it wasn't done in the previous years. And so we feel that hiring a consultant will get us quicker to where we want to be.
And this is separate from the bigger solid waste management plan, and it allows us to find a smaller local consultant possibly to look at those pieces.
Okay. In the interest of time, because we're gonna lose people, we may lose quorum. Motion?
With the solid waste budget with the removal of the reserve, transfer to reserve.
Any comments?
Just on this point, do we want to make at what point do you recommend to those future years of to that point of it's a 5-year piece? Like, would we refer, I support the general direction that we shouldn't do that this time around and wait till we're through the plan, but should we make a recommendation to that a future year there for that contribution, or would that be something that staff would action based on the passing of this motion?
Or how would you like us to?
I'll pass it to Heather. She's got a hand up.
Thank you. I think the consideration of reserves is always top of mind for everyone, and I don't know if it's a concern that by 2029, if we delay until 2029 and we put up a reserve, that's gonna come up with the professionals that are in the room to ensure that it's being reserved for, I would assume. Because reserves is a conversation that's always being had.
Okay. I think my question is actually maybe a little bit more broadly than that. If there's an action that this board wants to, recommend to a future board by way of 5-year financial planning, where do we make that recommendation that this should be phased? We heard some discussion earlier about phasing things, and I just want to make sure that we're right in the direction that's appropriate at this point, not necessarily exclusively to reserve, although that is what we're talking about here.
It should be at least a couple of years ahead of time.
Who are we looking at right now? Go ahead.
I heard that staff would be coming back with budgets and the 5-year financial plan, and so I think that can be a discussion before the time if you want to add it to the 5-year financial plan.
Yeah, and maybe just have a discussion as a board on our general reserve policy, should we wish to set a direction more broadly.
I think with the 5-year plan, we can put in a number in 2029, and then that can be adjusted as we finish up the plan.
So like that, so it's in the 5-year plan.
Okay, on the motion, as laid out. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, we'll go to the next budget, the CUES department budget, and this is fully clearing budget where all of the salaries and the travel and everything is charged out to the services that they work on through their timesheets. Any questions on this service? Omar is here to answer any specifics as well.
Are there any questions? No? Okay. All right. Sorry,
I'll move this as presented.
okay, thank you. Seconded by Vivian. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next budget is Sea to Sky Trails. And Ruby is also here, the Trails Coordinator, for any specific questions, and Omar as well. It is at the maximum requisition, so the taxation is flat to last year. And there are some capital funding and also additional consultation requests, and I think that's, and time allocation has increased just a little bit. Yeah, open to any questions.
Go ahead, Mike.
Maybe through to breathe within this budget, within this budget, is there anything allocated for? I see a couple of lines on the Friendship Trail, they seem like the general maintenance. Once we complete this right away that we're working on, there's some upgrades desired. Is there budget for that in here, or? So which line was that?
It's under the cap, exact set increases, there's 64,000, under Sunstone.
So that's the Sunstone upgrades, that's what that is, okay, got it, thank you.
And that's just been carried over year after year.
Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Okay.
I'll move this budget if there's no more questions.
Okay. Second by Vivian.
I do have to adjust it slightly. I just got some new information after the agenda was already put through, so I wouldn't adopt it quite yet, but
Okay.
it'll just be slightly changed in January.
So we'll motion to defer.
Yeah.
Great. Moved by Mike, second by Vivian. All in favor, any opposed? Motion carries.
And the last service is the Regional Transit Planning and Infrastructure Service. This is, a rough estimate using the growing communities funds that's was already resoluted by the board to allocate to this project. Any questions on this? Probably good for Heather or Allison if she's.
Yeah. Keep it on, keep it on. The motion to approve, Mike, seconded by Armand. All in favor, any opposed? Motion carries.
And then if there's any final advice on the general government service and what the board would like to see. If not, I'll just try to make my own assumptions.
Alright, we'll get another crack at it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if my comments were clear enough to give direction. Again, I'm gonna wanna see the increase in IT softened and perhaps extended over a couple of years. So I'll be looking for some suggestions from staff where that's appropriate. I'm certainly not gonna make those suggestions.
And I just reflecting back on this, I think I can be convinced to look at using an appropriate amount of reserve, but I do think if we're gonna do that, we should adjust our policy to reflect where we land. So I don't know if that's how much additional piece of work that is, but just we're doing something against policy, that's great, but we also have the ability to adjust the policy to kind of match that, because I've heard that it's been an unrealistic policy essentially. So I would like to look at that if we're gonna go there, or at least have a plan to address that in at a future point in time, if that's the direction we choose.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed what happened there. What were you referring to? Sorry.
So the conversation, we were gonna drop from reserve
Yeah.
to soften that budget out, and then
Yeah.
that leaves us below the 2-month level, but it was said that general government doesn't require the 2-month.
So let's
level of
adjust the
reserve, so it's the only one within the policy that doesn't need that we don't treat as such. So if we do wanna make that, I feel like that's something we could look at well after budget, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big change.
Review that we have coming. Okay, Mike, did you have another comment? Okay. Okay, so, yeah, we're gonna lose quorum.
We can call in, and I don't know
Okay.
if we can do that in one call, my only question would be, if we call in as a group? One call, or do you want four? The three of us to
I'd
be
really
represented?
rather not, because you're gonna lose service as you go down the highway, so if we can just get through. Mind you, you have to walk out the door now, so.
Let's just finish the meeting.
Yeah.
You want to-
I didn't write it.
Yeah, that was your one, and then it didn't.
We defer to next month.
So be late.
The big point.
Information report on the burning.
Oh, yeah,
They should call them.
yeah, that's fine.
But with quorum.
Right.
So if they phone in, then we'll have all three of them.
Okay, why don't you guys, we'll give you 10 minutes to get to the car.
That's very generous, thank
That is a
you.
long.
Ah,
No,
Yeah, they'll be able.
everyone, what do we need to do to finish this meeting?
Just,
Do we need a motion to receive the whole budget?
No, that's
conversation?
fine. We've got
Great.
the resolutions as we went along. We're at 6.1.
Okay, there's no verbal report for today. No late business on committee of the whole? No. Motion to adjourn, Vivian, Harmon. All opposed, any opposed, motion carries.
All-
Thank you.
All of them.